Hey guys, welcome to my Range Rover Land Rover type of channel. In this video, I would like to tell you that my Range Rover wasn't overheating for 500 miles after I use a head gasket repair, case seal, and some radiator stop leak. But in 500 miles after driving it, I decided to replace the thermostat for the new one that I bought, which created then a problem and it started overheating again because the radiator started leaking. I wasn't sure if the radiator cap was still okay. So I've been doing some tests, and in this video I'm going to tell you what exactly went wrong, how did I resolve it to keep it from overheating. So please take a look at this video. Also, I'm sort of doing a case study on this Range Rover as I'm owning it. What can be done, what can't be done, because my whole main thing is to share with you guys the cheapest solution to fixing anything, to see if it's actually feasible to owning an old Range Rover, and is it a money pit as everyone thinks it is. So subscribe to this channel, take a look at my other videos, because I bought this Range Rover for me. I'm definitely keeping it, and as I'm testing these things, I will actually show you from first-hand experience what I'm basically going through. But overall, guys, I'm really happy with this Range Rover. If you are happy with your Range Rover and it's overheating or some other things, guys, take a look at these videos because they're gonna help you a lot.
Hey guys, I got a 2006 Range Rover Sport and it was overheating. It no longer overheats. I did fix the problem. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did. There's several things that can go wrong and they're really simple. In some cases could be difficult, but you got to always look at all the simple solutions. So, you see how the water bottle does not have any water? I mean, they really should have put like the water levels on this side, but they really didn't. They put it on that side, and that is the cold fill right there. So it's slightly above cold fill. On the hot fill, it's going to be slightly low. Well, I'm not sure if that lower one is for the hot fill or not, because typically when water heats up, it expands. So, you know, who knows? But it says cold fill range. Oh, okay, so that's from the bottom to the top, so that's the range. You do not want to overfill the tank. But first, let me explain to you guys what was going on. I'm going to get on the inside, and I'm going to tell you what I did. So here's the Range Rover. So let's take a look at the temperature gauge. All right, as you could tell, the fuel is not doing too well, even though I just fueled it up twice this week. But with that being said, the temperature gauge is right in the middle. Now, I bought this Range Rover with an overheating issue, and I fixed it pretty much in a single day. And then I drove it for 2 months without having any issues, until I decided to think, okay, like everything seems like normal. Let me go ahead and actually just replace the thermostat and put a new one in there. So anyways, from then on, I started having issues. The very first day I did that, and the issue was it started smoking a little bit over there, kind of like, well, right now this is condensation in the window, but it started smoking. And when I came home after a trip that I did, that was approximately 150-mile trip, I was like thinking, like, oh, what's going on? Like, it was smoking. And I'm gonna tell you what was going on with that. The side of the radiator was busted, and let me just now walk outside. I'm gonna show you kind of like what was going on over there, and I'll continue explaining because I want to give you some visuals. So it was leaking coolant over here. And as a matter of fact, I should have probably recorded this video, but I went inside and I got ready to leave. As you can still see, there is still some wetness. Let me see if I could zoom in better. You see on the side of the radiator is still wet. Well, it was actually leaking water all along the side of the radiator, like really, really foamy, you know. But looks like it sealed itself, and I was gonna go ahead and buy myself another radiator fix, which I will buy, and I'm gonna put another one in there. Now, this is all temporary type of solutions, but at least it tells you kind of like, well, what's going on? What do you have to really deal with right now? Also, another thing you have to think about is the cap and the thermostat. So, in order for me not to have any noises, I'm going to explain to you guys what the cap does in a simple terms, not like how mechanics explain it. And this thermostat right here, how am I running the thermostat? And let me show you actually what the thermostat looks like. So here's a brand new thermostat that I installed yesterday, and today I replaced it. This is a very easy replacement. And I didn't replace it with the new one. I replaced it with the old one, except the other thermostat, I just basically removed the thermostat portion. As you can see, that slides out. But yeah, I slid it out, and the spring, everything fell apart and fell over there somewhere. I don't even know if it's still down there in the shroud or not, but I did peel it out. So right now, technically, there is no thermostat. So the water is flowing freely. Of course, it's not going to overheat, or will it, right? But that's one of the things that I did in order to keep it from overheating. And I'm going to explain some other things. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys, okay, so when I bought this Range Rover, I thought that it had a head gasket issue. At first I thought it didn't, and then I started thinking that it was a head gasket type of leak. So I thought, okay, well, if I'm gonna mess with a head gasket, well, let me try this head gasket repair that I did. And I put gosh, I forgot the name of it, but I have a video for it. I basically put an additive. It's a very small bottle, and it did not help. Now, did it help or did it not help? I don't know, but it did not solve my issue at the time because the vehicle continued like overheating. Okay, and so I put a radiator fix in it because it was real obvious the radiator had holes. Now, why does the radiator has holes? That is the whole question, and this is a question I had then. And since I had a free-flowing type of thermostat, the radiator itself, it fixed itself. Like the very next day, the radiator was like fixed. It was no longer leaking. When I finally got the car delivered to me after I actually ran the stuff, you know, outside my house and stuff. So I was kind of thinking, okay, well, I did order another radiator. It came in. I did order a water pump. I did order a thermostat. All those things came in. I do have a radiator. I do have it, okay? But the ultimate question is, well, why was the radiator leaking in the first place? Was the radiator old and it just developed a leak over time? Or was there another issue? Is there some kind of pressures in the radiator system that caused the radiator to leak? And the pressure is what I was concerned about. So I was kind of thinking, okay, well, the thermostat seems new. You know, I looked at the thermostat; it seemed new, like at the time when I got it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, somebody already messed with that thing, and so they put a new thermostat. The radiator cap seemed fairly new, but the thing is, I don't know. You know, it was kind of hard to tell. I could show you what the cap looks like. I guess let me show you. So this is the radiator cap that was on it, and this is the one I replaced it with. If you put them side by side, I mean, this seems like a little bit dirty, a little bit dusty. It could have been the old cap, but that looks to me like a brand new thermostat. So, as you can see, it needs to hold 16 psi, and that's what it says up there, and I'll explain to you why. So as we monitor this thermostat gauge, we want to make sure that the vehicle is not overheating, and it's still not. So far, the vehicle has been on for about 20-25 minutes. But let me explain to you why the radiator cap is important. So it says that it needs to hold 16 psi of pressure, and imagine that it's a two-way system. Basically, it opens up and it closes. So if the radiator cap, you know, fails to open or close, you know, various things happen to the engine to where like it cannot properly circulate the fluid. I'm just explaining to you guys in the normal terms. There's plenty of good videos that explain things about the radiator caps. So look them up. You know, they're pretty good. But something as simple as a radiator cap can cause your engine to overheat, because here's the problem. If your radiator cap, let's say it holds more than 16 psi of pressure, it means it cannot release pressure. Therefore, a lot of pressure will build up in your system, causing you to have a side of the radiator to blow out. And you might be thinking, well, it's a thermostat. You replace a thermostat and the problem is still going to continue, and it's because the radiator cap has not been replaced. So once you do replace the radiator cap, that might go away, but by that time you already have a bad radiator. Now you have to replace the radiator, and you still don't even know why this happened in the first place. This is why it's important to first fix the radiator leak. You know, get rid of it. See if you could solve the problem, you know, with this, you know, PSI type of issue, like with the pressures. So right now, currently, the radiator has sealed itself up again. I will put another additive in there. I will drive with this type of situation for about 3 days. And in 3 days, I plan to put the other thermostat back in, and we'll see if the side of the radiator blows out again. If it does, then this tells me, of course, it was not the radiator cap. It was not, you know, the actual water pump, because as you can see, it's being cooled down right now because water is free flowing. But the thermostat might be the issue. And if it's free flowing, it's fine. If it's not free flowing, maybe the thermostat, because the one I bought is a cheap eBay one for $20, and you should always buy original radiator cap from the dealer, and original thermostat, an original water pump, which I did not do. I bought the eBay type of stuff. So if you buy the eBay type of parts, it will leave you wondering, well, is the part defective? Is this thermostat any good? But in either case, once I do install my original thermostat back in, I will then figure out if the pressure will properly relieve itself. And also, we do want to test, before we even do that, I have a radiator pressure tester. We will test if the radiator can hold 16 psi of pressure. If it cannot, then it's pointless for me to even put that thermostat in. Now, what I was planning to do, now that the thermostat is out, I was planning to get some boiling water and make a video of the thermostat opening and closing as I pour water on it, or maybe I'll boil it. We'll figure something out to see if it even works and at what temperature it opens up, because there's a certain temperature it should open up and a certain temperature should stay closed. But anyways, guys, in conclusion, this Range Rover is no longer overheating. It is not a head gasket issue, and I will mention that this is a 4.4 liter V8 Jaguar engine technically. So this is not a BMW engine. I know in the past Range Rovers had a lot of head gasket failures when they had the BMW engine, but there hasn't been that many head gasket failures with the Jaguar engine, at least not that I'm aware of. So this is a fairly good engine, but some things like a radiator cap and a thermostat and a busted radiator that will keep pressures under, or usually under or above, can really confuse you and into thinking that your repair is way more expensive than it really is. But anyways, guys, stay tuned for more videos. Hopefully this kind of explained it. I try to explain it as simple as possible, with a little bit of background story, and I'll keep you guys updated to let you know what happens. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.